The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus said, "I am the good shepherd. A good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. A hired man who is not a shepherd and whose sheep are not his own sees a wolf coming and leaves the sheep and runs away. And the wolf catches and scatters them. This is because he works for pay and has no concern for the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and I know mine, and mine know me, just as a father knows me, and I know the Father, and I will lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold. These also I must lead, and they will hear my voice, and there will be one flock, one shepherd. This is why the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down on my own. I have power to lay it down and power to take it up again. This command I have received from my Father." The Gospel of the Lord. This is why the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. Today's gospel is about Jesus being the good shepherd, the one who puts his life in danger for his flock, for us. In John, there are three things which endanger the flock of the Good Shepherd: sin, death, and divine judgment. Let's call them wolves to stay within the parable. Sin is the wolf that attacks the flock, that destroys our world as we know it, and cuts us off from God. The wolf of death is a great destroyer. It attacks and destroys everyone, great and small, rich and poor, men and women, every race, every creed. And then there's the wolf of judgment. Death does not destroy by ending this life and leading to nothingness. It destroys by ending this life and leading to the courtroom of God, Romans 3. Jesus lays down his life to save us from these predators. Verse 18, Jesus says, "I have the power to lay down my life and the power to take it up again." The Greek word exousion translates here as power, but it really means more like authority, like authorship. Like Jesus is rewriting our story, that these predators, these wolves, because of his sacrifice, are meaningless now. Because of his sacrifice, sin, death, and judgment are not a threat to us anymore. He rewrote our story with his authority, his authorship. So knowing this, we understand that we are the flock. We are those in communion with each other and our shepherd. This communion, this relationship, is not something trivial. It is everything. It is the only reason any of it works. Relationship. Just as a flock of sheep submits to one shepherd, we submit to one goal, one vision, Jesus. We don't just see this goal and aim for it. It is deeper than that. We sacrifice to it. We sacrifice for it. We have to collectively move towards, like a flock, this highest possible good, which is God. We can all have individual lower aims and lesser goals. They all have value, but they are all dispersed, all fragmented. We must unite towards one goal. And if we are picking only one goal for us to unite towards, it should be the highest possible goal. And it will bind us together like a flock. This is why relationship is so important. This is what relationship is. It is not just being tolerant to each other. It is sharing the same vision. That's relationship. Think of a car made up of all these different pieces. They are all in some sort of relationship with each other, trying to achieve the same goal, the same vision. And by doing so, they hold together and become something greater than any individual part. It's the same with us individually. We all have these thoughts and skills and motives and fears. And if we allow them to pull us in so many directions like a scattered flock, we will never achieve anything. We must unite everything about ourselves into one goal. We call this our vision. It is what we determine to be our finish line, the result that we identify as victory for us. And once we have that, we are able to direct every one of our life's decisions in the direction of that finish line, all building upon one another to accomplish the same victory. Imagine our lives without this vision. Our decisions would be all over the board, some leading towards a positive, but some detracting from that. Our life would be chaos. We would be tearing ourselves apart like a scattered flock. Now, apply that to our faith community, our church. We must all have the same vision. This is the only response from us worthy of the sacrifice of the Good Shepherd, worthy of him removing the threat of sin, death, and judgment. But we must all be united, all of us. This is why Jesus descended into the dead for 3 days. Did we ever ask ourselves why? Because this vision has to be the same on every level. He has to be present on every level for all to know the vision, the goal, the aim. All levels need to be in communion for our response to be worthy of his sacrifice. As we read in Scripture, he has more than one flock. Some are not in this fold, but he's going to gather them all, uniting them in his vision. This is why the Father loves me, because I lay down my life, because I enter all levels of his creation in order that I take it up again, in order that I unite all creation in this one vision. This is why the Father loves Jesus, because his laying down his life, his actions, his authorship of destroying our predators of sin, death, and judgment, unite all of us together under one goal, one vision: Jesus. Relationship with God. That is why the Father loves Jesus. Without his actions, we would all be pursuing lower goals, lesser vision, all adding and detracting to and from the good of the flock. No ultimate community or vision, still under threat by the wolves surrounding us. Now, in a few moments, we will say the words, and Jesus will come. It is my prayer that at a reception of the Eucharist this day, we may all respond to the vision of Jesus, which is relationship with God.